Hey guys, I had a really good Grogu joke, but it was just too childish.
Oh wow. Okay.
Thought you were gonna say he
Okay.
ate it. No, I don't know.
Oh, that'd have been better.
Yeah.
Maybe Taylor takes over the jokes.
Negative.
Oh.
Wanna buy some death stick? Roger, roger.
Jedi.
That's not a moon. It's a space station.
Always a pleasure to meet you.
My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
You failed, Your Highness. I'm a Jedi.
Hello, explorers, and welcome to the only international Star Wars podcast covering almost half the world, but only 0.5% of the galaxy. I'm Jack, and as always, thank you for joining us wherever you are in the Star Wars universe.
Yes, welcome to Explore the Force, where we cover all things Star Wars. I'm Jimmy the Jedi, and as always, welcome back or welcome along if you are new.
And I am Taylor, and if you're joining us today for episode 158 and you get a chance, don't forget to give us a rating, like, and share and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Jimmy, how are you doing today?
I'm as conflicted as Darth Vader watching his son get electrocuted.
No!
No.
Oh boy.
So that's where I'm at. But it's also school's out. I almost said a bad word. So school's out now. So whatever, it's cool. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. How you doing, Jack?
I'm 1 year older today.
That's right.
Oh,
So-
right.
And it's not my birthday.
No, those that saw Jimmy try to ruin my birthday and steal it, how dare he? How dare he? I know, right? But yeah, no, I'm good. Good week, good weekend. Lots to talk about. Taylor, how are you?
Oh, I am like exhausted, but I'm like on this crazy high from my like eventful Star Wars weekend. So, yeah, I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. Ugh.
Nice. Okay, let's get into this week's Force Encounters.
For my ally is the Force.
All right, I'll start first. I think I have the least of the Star Wars Force Encounters. As of recording right now, I've seen the movie twice, so that's been a lot of fun. And I got to talk to some people afterwards. We'll play some of that later when we're reviewing that. And what else was there? Yeah, it's been weird. And oh yeah, I found out I missed a couple comics, so now I got to go back and go comic hunting. Yeah, I missed the last A Shadow of Maul comic that came out. Yeah, so I'm like, oh crap, something with the system, whatever. I'm gonna get to go comic book hunting over the next couple of days, and that's always fun for me. So how about you, Jack? What have you done on your birthday? Not my birthday, your birthday. What have you done on your birthday?
I've just had a nice, chilled out, relaxed birthday. Obviously, lots of gifts and that from the family. But I have actually got 2 Star Wars gifts. Because what is a birthday without a Star Wars gift? And they're from something called Fan Drop. I've got to be dead careful because it keeps falling out. But essentially, it's like a little scene from the Mandalorian.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and then there's 3 items you get in it, and they're all like special edition, etc., etc.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, the wife, my son, my daughter brought me that one, and then I found out there was 3 more. So you've got Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker one.
I need that.
There's 2 other ones. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but there's also a Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader one. They did initially just buy me the one. However, when I found out there was 4 in total, so I give them the nod to get the other one. So they're on the way. I've got the Luke Skywalker one, but we'll wait for the rest of them.
Nice.
Tay, what about you?
Amazing. I feel like maybe I've done the most of you guys this week. I've had so many Force encounters. I'll be quick. First off, I got to do a 501st troop in my Rebel Legion Jedi on Wednesday, and I got to go to the Mandalorian VIP screening, and I think I was only the second theater in all of Canada that got to see it so early. So I got to see the movie super early, and it was hilarious that people kept asking me, "Are you excited to see the movie? Oh, are you gonna see it?" I'm like, "Ha!" I'm like, "I've already seen it." Which I'm super excited to talk about. But also yesterday, on Saturday, at my work at the zoo in Vancouver, we had a May the Forest Be With You
Nice.
charity event for Wildlife Preservation Canada. Yeah, exactly. That shirt pretty much is what we had everywhere. Um, and we had Star Wars characters walking around. We had like outposts and everything, and there was lots of donation stations, and we had like a Jedi show that I was a part of, and we like saved the zoo from the Sith and with all the kids, and we taught them all how to use lightsabers, and
Nice.
it was so fun. Oh my gosh. But it looks like it's going to be an annual thing because so many people had fun. So
Yes.
keep an eye out for next year around end of May. We'll probably keep it around the same weekend. So
Ooh,
I done a ton of Star Wars stuff this week. Oh, but it's good. It's good.
that's class. Right, let's head over to Batu then and see what news we've got coming out of there.
The people in this crowd will soon be among almost 40,000.
For those who are among the 900 with news media or promotional tickets, this sneak preview probably will be the only chance to see the Empire Strikes Back.
We're gonna talk money here.
Yeah, always money, isn't it? So Baby Yoda's flea brought the crowd, brought the money. Essentially, the Mandalorian Grogu is on track roughly to collect 165 million around the globe. Walt Disney have announced that today. I think it did start off a little bleak Thursday. I think it was like 18 million or something.
Man, there was nobody in my theaters both times.
That's crazy.
I had the
That's
same.
insane.
I had the same.
But it was still a work day for most people. Like it's a work evening. So I mean the hardcore
Yeah.
fans were out, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I had the same. But yes, as of today, Sunday, 24th of May, roughly 165 million around the globe. And I think they're on track to get to 180 by Monday. But who knows and who's counting?
The Mandalorian with Grogu in tow has long been a guest at the park with visitors why can't I speak today? I don't have to school anymore, so I can't speak apparently. With visitors encountering them as they wander through the marketplace. But now they're looking toward to take over the parks with new features and an update to the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride, which launches on May 22nd. Disney recently released the new intro video for the ride with Din replacing infamous pirate Hondo Anaka. I'm not thrilled about that. On their Instagram, Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver also did a sneak peek in a separate promotional video. And Disney tried to fool people and make them think that they just surprised some random Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this real quick. One, I don't like the fact they're taking Hondo out of it.
I'm not a fan of that.
I think that sucks, personally.
Yeah.
Well, are they like completely out of it, or is this just another ride track? Because people who are obsessed with this ride, there's 2 different tracks apparently, plus the Chewie mode. So is this like just another track of the ride, or is this taken over?
I thought this was like, where you walk in and Hondo's up there and he's talking to you. Are
Yeah.
they keeping him out and putting a Mando in there, or?
Oh yeah.
I guess that's
Oh.
what I don't know necessarily.
Well, whoever's been on the ride, let us know because we clearly need some better understanding of this.
Yes, and we definitely need some better understanding of this surprise. Because again, some of the people we seen in that video know of. There was no way that was.
We follow every single one of them on our socials.
Yeah.
I don't know if people have seen this, and I honestly, no ill will towards any one of them. I think some of them felt attacked, and some people probably were attacking them specifically. But like, I was talking with Brent, and he's like, I was genuinely surprised. I'm like, well, yeah, who wouldn't have been? The guy took off his helmet, and it was freaking Pedro Pascal. Like I would have screamed like a girl. You know what I mean? Maybe passed out or something. But my for shame is for Disney because that is crap. Like.
Yeah.
I know this may get us in trouble or something with the Mouse House, but you can't these are some of the most popular Star Wars like presence on social media. Like everyone, and I thought maybe I only had an issue with it until Jack, you told me it was blowing up, and I went and I looked and I was like, ooh, people are angry at this.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at no ill will at all towards any of the content creators. Maybe jealousy, if I'm being honest, but no ill will towards them. I just think it was kind of a crappy thing for Disney to try to do. Why not have some Make-A-Wish kids. I think I saw Jamie Richards say that, or someone said that in the feed, like make some Make-A-Wish kids, or I don't know. Maybe they did, and that just didn't get publicity because they don't have 100K followers on Instagram or TikTok or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm
I think that's where the
overblowing.
lines are blurred. It's not. This isn't a dig at, like we say, the influencers at all. This is more of a dig at Disney. You got those select people there, brilliant, fine, whatever. But like you said, why not choose people from like that Make-A-Wish Foundation? There's thousands or there's millions of Star Wars fans that probably would jump at the chance just to even go to the park. All expenses paid or whatever it is. It's just, I think the way it went about it was a bit underhanded.
It was like they were trying to get free publicity from people that have massive followings on social media, and I think that was pretty poor. Not all of them. Some of them not huge, but a lot of them, lots and lots of followers. So
unless it was like leaked to those specific people.
Well, this is the same group that keeps getting to do everything, though. Like that's, I mean, that maybe is where my jealousy, like they just keep getting, and I don't think we're like necessarily large enough to like really expect to be phone called and to hey, come to the premiere and use your whatever. But I also don't understand how someone like Mike, from a guy who loves Star Wars, isn't being pulled in, because he's one of the most positive people in Star Wars, and they haven't even reached out to him. I don't get it. And then people, I don't know. I mean, the content that like those guys put out is pretty good. I mean, so it's like, but it just seems like there's so many of us. Do you know what I mean? Like, spread the love.
Spread your horizons. Get some more
There's
followers.
only one international Star Wars podcast.
There is. Just saying. International.
International. What other news we got, Tay? Go
on. Finally, if you're not aware, just if you guys weren't,
if you're listening to this podcast and you don't know this information,
if you're under a rock somewhere, the Mandalorian Grogu movie has been released. Get out there and watch it and let us know what you think of it, because so far we're seeing only good things, and this is super exciting. So
you must be looking at the same stuff I'm looking at.
No, you know what? My algorithm is just positivity, man. I'm okay with that.
No, it's good.
Awesome. Right, let's go into this week's main show and break it all down.
It's just a simple jump to hyperspace and we're there. What's so tricky about that?
Plenty. Can't plot a direct course to Kessel. You might want to buckle up, baby.
So, let's talk Mando and Grogu, shall we?
Where do we start? Oh.
Well, let's just go off our first reactions. First time you saw it in the theater. How many times have you guys seen it so far?
Just the once for me.
One?
Yeah, I've only seen it once.
All right, I'm a weirdo. I went 3:45, and then I had a bad experience with that one. Not the movie's fault. It's so stupid. They gave us the wrong 3D glasses, and then the movie stopped for like 30 minutes, and then I had to go straight back in and watch the next showing at 7. But yeah, so I've seen it twice. I'm getting ready to go either tonight or tomorrow after to see the third time. But
yeah,
first reaction, what did you think? Like, come out of the theater, your smile test, your happiness test. What was your overall rating, or how were you feeling about it?
Go on, Tay.
Just because I saw it first out of all you guys.
You did see it first.
You guys all saw my reaction too. The second I got to my car, I was just like, I can't drive right now. Like, I'm shit. Like, I can't drive right now. I need to talk about this. But my face hurt from just smiling so much. It's just so much action, and like somebody said to me, which is a perfect description of it, is it just felt like a really good long Mandalorian episode, not necessarily a movie, but I really liked it. I'm still super happy with it.
Nice. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Seeing Star Wars on the big screen again, absolutely loved it. I was even more buzzing. I took my 10-year-old daughter with me as well. She enjoyed it. She come out the cinema smiling. Lots to talk about, but yeah, overall rating for me straight away, mate. We both said it in the truck. It's 9 out of 10 Grogus for us.
9 out of 10 Grogus.
Wow. I did not have the same experience, and I think it's more my problem than it is like the movie. Because right now I'm sitting at like 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay. I was at 8.5 out of 10. We'll say that.
But yeah, we'll get into some of this stuff. you know, we're going to talk expectations versus reality, and that's always our fault. Like, I'm not putting any of this on the movie, but I do have some questions, and I've been talking to some friends and, you know, just doing things like that to kind of get what they're feeling, and people who maybe aren't as big as Star Wars fans. Now, I haven't seen it with anyone yet. Like, I got to talk to a family afterwards, which we'll play that later. I'm taking my wife, and then I'll go with Danny, but he was away at swim state, so I wasn't there by myself both times. Which I always do. Like, I always go to the movies by myself. Like, I don't care if I want to see it, I just go. I'm not going to wait and deal with other people. So, what were your experiences like, Taylor? You've got to talk about your experience because let us go first, because then you're going to make us all look stupid after we. I'll go first. Go. My reaction sucked, or my experience sucked right off the bat. Like I said, wrong 3D glasses. It's actually pretty good in 3D as well once it finally got rolling. My rows were empty. I was in an IMAX that sits tons, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people, probably 1,000, and just the middle was filled.
Wow.
But that was it Thursday at 3:45. So
fair enough.
You know, not to knock. I mean, I don't know a whole lot of people who can, you know, have, like, school was over at 2:40, so I just waited around a little bit and drove down to the IMAX, and then I turned back around and went in at 7. And there was probably 3 times as many people, but it was still empty. It wasn't like when I went to see Spider-Man or something where that place was just packed. You know what I mean? So that makes me a little bit sad. But overall, and then I will say this, the movie stopped the first time. I got a free movie out of it. It doesn't really work because I have the movie pass, but I won't have to pay for Molly's ticket now. So they did give us a movie pass. So, Jack, how was your experience? Because you got to take your kid, and that's, I think, for me, I think that's what was missing, is not having my athletes with me.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic experience. She was so excited, even the night before, just like me. Picked her up from school. We headed straight down. Remember going in, it wasn't too busy initially. Obviously, you've seen the merch on the Instagram that we brought, the Grogu cup, the bucket, etc. I was so close to getting the AT-AT.
That's like $80.
I know. I was close to getting it, but then the turret guns, they're all bent. I was like, no, that's
from packaging.
Yeah. So I left that, and then we went in, and similar to you, Jimmy. To be fair, it wasn't really that busy. I think overall on the screen of about 200 seats, I think only 30 was filled. So we went down on a Friday evening, 7 o'clock ish. So again, school had done, etc. Work had done. But there was still that air of like excitement. You could still sense that air of excitement. And just throughout the film, people were laughing, giggling, cheering. So overall, my experience was brilliant. Again, my daughter sat all the way through it, which is quite unusual. You know, sometimes she'll go up for a toilet break, whatever, nothing. She just sat still, laughing her head off. She loved it. I loved it. I think that added for my experience.
Nice. Aww. Well, I went with my 501st, well, technically Rebel Legion's sister club, and the cinema. No, it was Disney Lucasfilm that put out the Troop, and then it was for the Coquitlam Cinema out here, and it was a full theater for us. Like, it was completely full. The lineup went from like where they ripped the tickets all the way out the door, down the stairs. And the Cineplex was like, can you just like, you have lightsabers, can you just like twirl them around? I'm like, yeah. So I'm out there. I love twirling my double sabers around and my staff saber. Like, it's awesome. So I was, I guess, hired to talk with the crowd as they're lined up waiting to come in. And we're like talking to them, like, are you excited? And talking to everybody there. And then, so I got to watch the whole thing in my costume, my costume is very comfortable.
Amazing.
Because it's all fabric. So all fabric. I had to go to the bathroom like one time in the middle, and I just could not hold it because I was medically going to destroy myself if I did. So I'm like running to the bathroom in like a full out High Republic Jedi, and I'm like 100 layers, like trying to go to the bathroom. But I had a really fun time, and we got to stay a little bit longer and hang out with all like my 501st friends and chat about it. So my experience was awesome. I'm sorry that yours wasn't, Jimmy.
It's all right. I'll go again. I mean, like I said, taking the wife, I'm excited to see her reaction because she's like a normie Star Wars fan that has a little bit more understanding because of me. But so I'll be excited to share that with her. And I will say the second time was more fun because like the laughing, you know, and I was kind of like anticipating moments see how the crowd would react. That's another thing too. Tell me, you guys, was it hard for you to take off like your podcasting? And then what we do is silly and fun, but I feel like I'm sitting there like just watching it the first time as like a podcaster or a content creator. Like, what am I going to say about this? How are people going to feel about this? And I couldn't relax. I don't even feel like I really relaxed the second time as much as I should have. I feel like going in on Monday or Tuesday, I'll be like, who cares? Like, I'm just going to watch this movie. But did you guys feel any of that when you were doing it? Like, is it, or am I just a weirdo?
No, I felt the exact same way. Like going into it, I was like, oh, I'm totally gonna say like this part about the opening, and then I'm like watching it, like, oh, pointed that out. I'm gonna try and remember that. And you're right, I had the exact same thing, and I was just like, well, now I've forgotten the other things because I'm remembering this because my memory's terrible. But I definitely went into it as a podcaster looking for problems, and I actually am almost disappointed in myself for going into it like that. But even with the few things that didn't sit well with me, overall, I'm still satisfied with it.
I'm glad. I just wondered how you guys felt about it, like that aspect. So,
Yeah. I was similar, but to be honest, I relaxed straight into it. I mean, similar to Taylor, I was like, I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember that. And then by the time I come out, I was like, oh, I forgot that.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So we should say spoiler warning now because we're going to ask you guys a couple questions. And I don't think we can really do it without starting to get stuff away from the film. So if you haven't seen the movie, why are you listening to us right now? Because it's the full Mando and Grogu. Hit pause, come back when you're finished, and then of course let us know what you thought of the movie a little bit later. But do you guys, was there? See, this is where I come into some problems. Most emotional moment? Like, what was your favorite moment? I guess let's go with favorite first off. Favorite moment.
Okay, you go first.
Oh,
I have to
gosh.
think.
I think the favorite moment for myself is going to be the arena with Rota the Hutt.
That was pretty
cool. The fight scene with him and Mando. I think in terms of action and again, we're getting that first glimpse of the Jarek board stuff and Rota going ham. That for me was my favorite bit. What you got, Jimmy?
I know. It's so hard.
Well, I just nothing. Okay, gosh, I feel like such a jerk. Nothing.
No,
really
we need to have this balance.
Nothing really stands out for me as above and beyond anything else in the movie. Does that make sense? Like, I hate myself for saying this, and maybe I just need to sit with it for a while. But nothing like, usually when we ask these questions, like something will pop into your head like immediately.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of something. I think some of the flying was pretty cool. Like some of the stuff that they did with like with the Razor Crest, or we saw with the X-Wings and things. I really like that. But I'll get into why I think I feel this way in a little bit later. But yeah, nothing really sets itself apart for me as my favorite.
You watched it in IMAX as well, right?
Yes, both times. Yep.
See, I didn't watch it in IMAX, and I think that'd have made a world of a difference.
Gorgeous, like just insane. Because I mean, forged for IMAX or whatever the saying. So it was pretty cool. What about you, Taylor?
Favorite part. I don't know. You're right. There was, when you say emotional, that doesn't mean just sad. That means like excited as well.
Like favorite.
And like, and like my, I guess, elation, excitement was like super high at the whole droid fighting scene where he's just like taking out all these like crazy mix and max droids. Like I was just like, whoa, like blown away. But like kind of where it's like hits me in the heart, like, oh, was when Grogu kind of like tucked himself right up into Din's arm.
That was
in the
pretty
forest
sweet.
There. It was like, oh.
That was a pretty sweet.
Yeah, those two moments got me like, whoa. So
yeah. Fair enough.
Was there anything that surprised you guys? I guess, was there any surprises for you?
I was excited and like surprised me, and I know you guys had predicted the whole Rada is going to be working with Din like thing. Like I know you guys were like right on track with that. I really didn't think we were going to get that much Rada, and I just like and his like basic language was like, what? Okay. That really was like, whoa, for me.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
I don't know. Like, I guess Hutts and every species of alien can learn how to speak basic and other languages and stuff, but we've never really seen this. Like, Jimmy, you and
Animation,
I have
that's about
seen
it.
yeah, like, you and I have seen, like, High Republic books that have, like, a young Hutt that speaks basic,
Yeah.
but that's a book, right? Like, seeing him actually talk and how, like, it almost looked like first language, you know what I mean? It was just like
Yeah, there's some
okay.
weird nitpicky stuff with that, which we can get into when we talk about the characters specifically. We'll see. We may need to split this up in 2 parts as well. So, all right. Yeah, Jack, anything that really surprised you
I'm
or
sort of with
anything?
you as well, mate, to be honest. There wasn't anything that surprised me, purely because I think, again, the amount of trailers they push, you sort of
I
see
wanted
quite
to
a lot
talk
of it
about that.
already.
So, yeah,
So it sort of highlighted what I already said ages ago. But also, I think because we've had so much live action on the TV, it sort of dulls it down on the big screen as well.
Mm.
You know, but again, the whole IMAX thing is an absolute game changer. But yeah, overall, there wasn't any big surprises. You know, we knew what was coming, what was happening. Storyline, I think the biggest question was is the Mandalorian going to survive? But I think, you know, towards the end, you sort of realize, yeah, he's got to survive.
Yeah. We knew
But
that.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Taylor, you said something in your opening. So this next question, did it feel like a Star Wars movie to you? Did it feel like Mando season 4? Did it feel like, how do you feel about this movie? Like, this is where I am really struggling, because when I think about it one way, I really love it. And when I think about it the other way, I'm like, oh, they really dropped the ball. Like, it's like I got like split personalities when it comes to this show. And I don't know why. I
Yeah.
don't usually have this kind of problem. So how did you guys feel? What did it feel like to you? Did it feel like a Star Wars blockbuster? Like,
Well, I've seen so many people say that it's a blockbuster and that they love it and it's a good family movie for sure. It's a lot of fun, but well, yeah, like I said earlier, it's more just like a really good episode of The Mandalorian. Like we didn't have any like crazy scenes that made me feel like it was a Star Wars movie. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a massive war happening and like we didn't get any legacy characters or any real attachment to that. We didn't even have a Jedi. So I don't know. I really liked it. But what I'm telling people is that it's just a really good episode of The Mandalorian. Like a higher budget.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm the same as well. And I think as well, and we're going back to the original thing where you were talking about having your podcaster head on. There was points in the movie where I was like thinking, right, this is where this could end. This is where the next season, this is where the next episode starts. There
Yeah.
was prominent breaks in that film where I thought, right, they must have filmed this way before they said it's going to be a movie, because that sits nicely where an episode would finish, and then the next scene sort of picks off where a scene or an episode would like start. And then would you
Yeah.
argue that a movie is a culmination of episodes? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's 3 acts, and each act's 2 episodes. I don't know. And then you're looking at 6 episodes versus 8. So a lot of people are arguing that like it's like season 4, but with all the extra filler crap cut out. You know what I mean? But there was still some filler in this. I mean, there was some stuff that could have ran a little long, but I don't know, man. In my opinion, I don't want to speak for you guys, but yeah, that's for me. That's where I'm struggling. You guys is like, if I look at it as a Mandalorian and Grogu like movie that maybe it should have been on television. I'm glad I got to see it in the IMAX. So don't get me wrong. Like I would have gone to the IMAX to see this regardless, but but it doesn't feel. And I sit there and like you guys said, like there's no like big galactic stakes. A little bit at the beginning because we're dealing with like the Imperial remnants and stuff, but that goes away pretty quick. Like it kind of falls off, which is fine. I'm glad that it did kind of. I feel like, but Solo was the same way. It didn't have galactic stakes at it. This guy trying to, whatever, fight Crimson Dawn or something, but. Yeah, I don't know. Like that's just where I'm struggling with it.
I think that's what it is, mate. I think you've hit the nail on the head. There isn't like a great big crescendo if the mission doesn't get completed. If it doesn't get Roto, etc. So what?
And then
so what? The Empire's already defeated. If the Mandalorian Grogu die, so what? That the Empire's already been defeated. What are they around for? They're just bounty hunters at the end of the day. They're just mercenaries. Same with Solo, like you said, Matt. I think you look at the other Star Wars films and you start at Rogue One. If they fail, there's no New Hope. And then the New Hope all the way upwards is the defeating the Empire. And then you look at the Phantom Menace upwards, it's defeating the Separatists, essentially.
I've had this issue with everything that Filoni and Favreau are creating with The Mandalorian because we know where it's going to end. Like, it ends at the sequels, right? So it's like, get this big build up, and that's fine. Like, you can end it and make it satisfying, and then, how do we get to where we're getting? But if you're going to start piecing together the sequels like they're trying to do, well, I didn't do it all in this. I don't know. And I'm sitting there trying to decide, like, did my headcanon get in the way? Like, did what I expected to happen or what I wanted to happen and ruining it for me? Because by itself, this would probably be my favorite Mandalorian season if I got to watch this as episodes, and I would be like, this is incredible. And it's simple. It's like season 1 all over again, where it's Mando and Grogu. There's not 47,000 storylines going on. And I'm here for that. Action's great. The father-son stuff is pretty cool. But I'm really, honestly, I'm struggling with. And I don't want that to sound like I didn't like it, because like people that I respect and I really listen to a lot, I mean, they're coming down on this movie pretty hard. And it's for that storytelling aspect, not the action or the cinematography. It's for the fact that it didn't like expand Star Wars at all.
Yeah.
And so my question, I guess, and maybe this is something we can talk about at a different time, is like, does it need to expand Star Wars more? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it not a good movie? Because like a lot of the complaints that I have heard are that it didn't do anything for Star Wars, but it is but it's like you guys said, like, it's a fun romp. Like, it's a fun time.
It's a safe bet, I think. It's a safe bet to make that money and engage where the fandom's at.
So,
I think Star Wars could not have another or any sort of failure. So I keep saying that. I still think Star Wars is literally on the precipice. I think it's all going to ride on the Starfighter.
I put more pressure on Starfighter now than I did originally.
100%.
Like, this has got to be an epic movie. Like, this is going to come out with my jaw on the floor. I can't believe this is where Star Wars is going. Like,
has to expand the
universe. We'll talk about that with some people in a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I think we have some people coming on. We're going to dive into like the future of Star Wars, and I'll be a big topic of it, I think. But there's a lot of pressure on it there. Let me see, where are we here? Let's talk about this real quick too. Then I just want to get it out. The marketing versus the actual movie. Yeah. I feel like I saw everything in trailers. Like, there is nothing. That's what I was like. I told Molly. She's like, "Well, what'd you think?" And I was like, "I feel like there are so many cool moments that if I had saw it the first time in IMAX, my mind would have been blown away." But I've seen them firebombing the Hutt complex 47,000 times before I went in there. So I'm like, okay, it's just bigger. You know what I mean? Like, it's on a bigger screen. It's not on my phone. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Marketing versus actual movie. And you can talk about, now that we see it, did it tell us the story, or, was it too much? I don't know. Like,
I think that they marketed the crap out of this. Like, there's like little cookies with the Mandalorian Grogu on it. It's fishy crackers. Burger King did a whole thing. Like you said, we've seen every single clip pretty much of the whole thing. And when people are like, "Oh, we haven't heard any spoilers yet," it's like, because there isn't any. Like,
it really isn't.
You know what I mean? And it's just like the amount of movie trailers they gave us and clips, and like even throwing them in the Super Bowl, and like the Wrestling Mania thing that I don't really pay attention to. They were absolutely everywhere. And that might just be my algorithm. But for the amount that they were like, "This movie is amazing," it's like, no, it was good, but it was good.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Like, I feel like they probably spent way too much money on how much they marketed this.
I think they panic marketed towards the end of it.
Like, please come and see it.
There's no trailers, there's no nothing. Super Bowl was a letdown because there's no tauntauns either.
I forgot about that.
There's no tauntauns in the film.
How much money did they spend on just the commercials?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of panic marketing and, again, over marketing.
That's what they did with Rise of Skywalker.
I'm trying to think. The only thing I think they didn't show was the battle between Mando and Ember at the end.
They did show a small portion of those two fighting right before the movie came out, though. I mean, in one scene of them, like, but you didn't know where it was going to be and stuff. But yeah, like, I would love it if somebody who had more time than I do went through and grabbed all the trailers and all the pieces and just pieced it together and how much of the movie is there. Honestly,
Maybe
but I also feel like we're to blame for that because people were so pissed in January or February, whenever the Super Bowl was, that there wasn't more. I think, again, Star Wars fans are their own worst enemy because like we want, but then now here I am like, and I won't lie, I got excited every time I got to see something. Oh my God, that's so cool. But I want those emotions in the theater. Like I want to come out with that because there was nothing that I'm really racking my brain really hard for something that I didn't see in a trailer that like really blew me away. I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring it down because I really liked it, but it's like,
that's the thing. It's a really good movie, but like you said, I think that's a good question. What actually blew your mind? There isn't really a great deal personally for me either. I enjoyed it. It's just like just a happy, normal experience. But there's nothing there where, you know, we could pick a movie right now. This at the Star Wars. Like, I'm going to put you on the spot now. Right, I'm going to choose a movie, and you're going to give me a moment in that movie that blew your mind. All right. So Tay, I'm going to come straight to you first. Right. So Revenge of the Sith. Give me a moment in Revenge of the Sith that blew your mind.
When Anakin is just absolutely in love with Padme and then he starts force choking her out of the blue, like, whoa, he's so messed up. Like, sorry.
Jimmy, talk to me about The Force Awakens.
Oh, The Force Awakens. I don't know. Like, man, I'm trying to think.
There's Luke at the end or whatever, right?
I like the big battle at the end. The Exegol, that was massive. You know, not the smartest thing I've ever seen, but it was massive battle. You know, Rey and Kylo's fight, them working together. Like, yeah, there was stuff in there, but again, we didn't see all that on the damn trailer.
No, so. And that's my point. You know, I just chose 2 films there where they didn't release a lot of stuff in the in marketing. I think that's probably where they've fallen foul a little bit. But yeah, I think overall the consensus with this is just it's a good Star Wars movie.
And why isn't that good enough, though? Because people that are blasting it are just destroying it for the fact that we're like, they're making fun of Star Wars fans saying, well, good, fun is not good enough. Like, that's just Star Wars fans like making excuses for it. Are we making excuses for it?
Well, would we be reacting differently if they didn't throw this amazing, crazy hype out and then it was this good? And we're just like, it was better than we expected. This is great. But what they've done.
Yeah, I don't know. Mike, the mailman, I want to give him full credit for this because he and I were talking after he went and saw it. And I'll let him discuss how he feels on Tuesday night. But he said something that really made sense to me. He goes, if this had been like in the Marvel studios where you're getting 3 movies a year, this would have been just another Marvel movie. Like, it's nothing changes. It might have one little connection, but we've waited 7 years for this or
7 years,
right? And this is, I don't know. And then you're like, well, it was fun. It was good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it, but I feel like I left wanting, if that makes sense. Like, I had a smile on my face because I really enjoyed what I'm looking at and what I'm watching, but then I'm like, and I have a long list of buts.
I think it's because it's one of the few Star Wars movies where it hasn't left more questions and answers because it didn't really answer anything. It didn't really leave any questions about anything. So you feel fulfilled
either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, you've come away from dinner full and you're happy you don't need any dessert. Whereas normally we'd be like, give me more. I want to know more. Why is Luke on his own? Why is Kylo Ren, you know, turned his back, etc., etc.
Yeah, I and I feel weird because, like, I mean, and it sounds like I didn't like the movie, but I don't know. Was there? I mean, did it feel cinematic to you? I mean, I thought it looked like one of our questions. Like, did it feel cinematic? Yeah, I mean, it was insane. Like, that on a small screen TV was not going to have the same effect. Like,
absolutely,
it's not.
Yeah.
So that I was like, wow, it's like Star Wars on the big screen. I remember seeing the trailer for the first time and I was like, holy rip, like, that's nuts. Like, this is going to be so much fun. So that aspect of it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Some of the shots were like fantastic, you know, when they're coming into the planets, etc.
Yeah.
That like you say is the main difference between like the movies for me and being at home.
Yeah.
You know, the grand scale of things, even the Hutt's palace.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Nal Hutta was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Okay, so speaking of Nal Hutta, question for you guys, and I don't know if it's just my theater, but when they're like soaring over Nal Hutta, was it like totally blurry for you guys? Like, I feel like they were like, no, we're moving, so we can't put that much detail into it. And I felt like a lot of the stuff was like blurry. And I don't know if that was just my theater or
I didn't have that issue, but
yeah.
You'll see it on a second watch. We'll see on a second watch.
Yeah, when they're flying over and you're supposed to be like, whoa, look, we're looking at Nal Hutta for the first. Oh, it's totally blurry. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
that
was weird,
annoyed me. That annoyed me.
Let's talk about our two main characters, shall we? Let's talk about Din and Grogu. Let's talk about them before the movie. Let's talk about them after the movie.
Okay.
Is it the same? I mean, they haven't. What changed with Din? I don't think anything changes, right? Like he's still Din Djarin.
Still the same Din. Still the same Din. I think there's a certain element that he's starting to look at Grogu and realize he isn't going to be around forever. But again, I think they sort of lose that. You know, one or two times he mentions things like the young protect the old, the old protect the young, etc., etc. But overall, nothing really changes for me with Din. There's no great character development. There's no leadership growth. Nothing like that. It's just another mission with Din Djarin doing his thing with Grogu at his side. So for me, Din Djarin, no change.
Yeah.
What about you, Taylor? Do you think? I mean, did you see anything that's different for him? Like after 2-hour movie? I don't know.
Not really. Like he kind of, if anything, kind of goes a little bit backwards. Like he's finding it. He gets his old favorite gun, like that really cool, like the really long one. Like he gets that back, and he gets his old ship back, and like not obviously the same one, but and I don't know. I guess the only difference is that he works for the New Republic now, but at the same time, they're like, you work for us, and he's like, like I'll still do what I want. So it's like this. He hasn't really changed. No.
Yeah.
No.
That's that. And I mean, is that a criticism? Do we need it? Do we need him to grow as a character? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like he is what he is. You know, that, and I'm asking these questions, and I feel like I'm being negative when I ask them. But I mean, do we need that though? Like, I mean, he's just a badass bounty hunter that kicks butt. Like, there's not a whole lot. There wasn't depth to him. His growth was when he hated droids, and now he's okay with droids like IG-11.
Yeah,
and that was his growth. And
I think it goes back to all the live action series stuff. If we had seen a massive change about Din Djarin in this movie, I think there'd have been more uproar with people saying that's not Din Djarin, he wouldn't have done that, or he's not like that. So again,
that's not my Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly. It just goes back to the fact I think Disney, Lucasfilm, etc. have just gone with a safe bet, literally a safe, solid bet.
Okay, all right. Now, Grogu on the other hand, I see why they have the stupid title, The Mandalorian and Grogu. I'll let you guys discuss Grogu before the start of the movie and at the end of the movie. Has he grown, Taylor?
Well, Grogu can run now. Apparently, he can run, he can climb, he can swim, and yet we still have not seen his feet.
Yeah. Me out, man. I want to.
You can't even give us his feet in the movie. Like, come on.
How many times would he trip in the real world? You know what I mean? With wearing a
he's got like big heavy armor. I liked all the throwbacks to Yoda.
Like there were some when he had that cane.
Yeah, just literally the same walking and everything, and like his little mud hut that he like builds. That's got to be a throwback to like to Yoda's house too. So it's like, okay, so it's like genetic memory, so that like, you know how like butterflies know how to build cocoons and stuff somehow. It's like Grogu species knows how to build mud huts.
Yeah.
He did grow a little bit, but then at the same time, he's still a baby, and he's doing baby things at the same time. So,
yeah, I agree with what Taylor's saying there. I don't think he's as vulnerable as he usually is. You know, when he's on his own, sometimes you're not as worried as you were in previous like live action stuff. And then seeing them with the Anzelians and that again, you know, he's holding his own, he's looking after them. He sort of did the big brother thing, you know, looked after those guys and girls. I don't think it aged the character at all moving forward. Again, I think it's just another lot of the same character that we're used to and love, coupled with a few funny jokes and scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like if anybody, Grogu had the most growth though, because like, you know, the first 3 seasons he's always just in Din's bag, you know what I mean? He's being carried around and he is handling situations, and that went on for a while, that scene.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get this is where the Mandalorian becomes the Mandalorian and Grogu, because Grogu was like, "Hey, I can take care of you now." And I get that. And that makes way more sense to me. And that's something like thinking about it right now, I'm kind of like, "Oh, that is pretty sweet." Like they're letting this kid kind of, you know, coming of age, but then he's still a baby. So it's very confusing for me. Like,
It is.
because he's still like a 52-year-old baby or 53 now or whatever he is. It's been, and so like he can do all these things. He's super powerful in the Force, you know, but he can't communicate. And I think that's something they need to. The next time we see him, that's something that needs to change. Like we need to.
Yeah,
he needs to be able to communicate. Like it needs to be. That I know they're probably terrified, absolutely terrified to give this guy a voice, right? Because I mean, oh my gosh, like, but I mean, not everyone loved Grogu, and I'm fine with it now. He's Grogu, like that's what he is. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, maybe we don't like it at first, but that's what it is. But I felt like he had a little bit of growth. I get why it's Mandalorian and Grogu now after that little. Well, I won't say little. After that stint there towards the end in the 3rd act, where he's kind of handling things and taking care of Din, but I don't know.
Well, they're also like a way better team. Like they've figured each other out. Like Din just walks up to the building and turns around, and Grogu already knows. Okay, I'm jumping up this and I'm going
and
in.
that's
Like, this is what we've done like 50 times. Like they have their routines now.
I like that. You know that they're a team. That's pretty cool. But like, if he can do that at his age, but he can't communicate, like that's the stuff that is starting to like. I get it. Like this is your merchandise. This is baby. You know, this is Baby Yoda. This is Grogu. This is your moneymaker. But does it make sense that he can do? I mean, he's force healing. He's force pushing. He's force pulling. He's banging Din's head off the tree and stuff, which was freaking hilarious. But then he still can't talk. Like I just kind of, and I'm. When it's kind of like it's not plot armor, you know, it's kind of like, well, he can do when he asks him to do some things, he gets it exactly right, but because it's funny in the movie, he's trying to blow them up with missiles by accident, you know.
Yeah, but again, I think the thing is here, right? So Yoda, when he talks, is very slow. His words are backwards, etc. So maybe it does take them a lot longer, years and years, to develop their speech.
But Yaddle's normal.
That's a good shout.
That's true.
As well,
yeah, she is. Yeah, Din's like, he doesn't speak. And I was like, maybe that's a foreshadowing, but it wasn't.
That's what I thought so too. I thought that was weird. Like he doesn't speak. Like
he doesn't.
Yeah, that was weird to me. Like I don't know. That was a weird.
Can I feed him? It's like, yes.
Yeah, it was. That was a weird. That was a weird moment. Can I feed him? Like it's like what? But I guess like you feed babies and stuff. You hold babies. Like I don't know.
When have you ever fed someone else's baby, Jimmy?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like some of it just doesn't make sense in the order. And again, so anyways,
people still half treat him like a pet.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I think they need to figure that out whatever they decide to do next, which we have no clue because the movie gave absolutely nothing away. Because they probably don't have a plan. Let's talk about other characters, shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
Where were we at? How do we feel about the bad guys? We had the twins. We had Embo. We had the droid Gatra from, and that's I think the first time you hear about that is in the Solo and Kira book. You have Coin. You have Hog's Breath. You got a big giant snakes. I mean, how are we feeling about that crew? And we can talk about the good guys next. How do we feel about that crew?
I think the twins are decent.
They were better in this than they were in Book of Boba Fett for sure.
100%. 100%. Which I did wonder if they knew about the Mandalorian since they gave the Rancor to Boba, and obviously them two then joined forces. So I was a bit curious if they remember him or not. Embo for me was good in the guys that the design, and that was very from the Clone Wars, etc. With his dog. I feel like he was sort of undersold again, like more not very many lines, if I'm honest.
He doesn't talk a ton, but I mean, even in the animated, and he's always voiced by Filoni, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, I was not disappointed. Again, it's just proper like okay, fine.
Yeah.
The droid Gotcha, I love that. I absolutely love that.
That
I
was
think that's
pretty cool.
fantastic. Yeah, that's amazing. Commander Coin again, fine. Just another Imperial Warlord in my eyes. Hog's Breath again, fine. We're seeing more of those sort of species. The Devlin, I think they're called. Again,
Ikachi.
yeah. In terms of the bad guys, mate, I thought again it's just all fine. But I think the twins were the standout bad guys and a lot better in this than the Book of Boba Fett.
How about you, Taylor? How'd you feel about the bad guys?
I liked them. Well, first off, you're right. The twins were awesome. Also thought it was a bit weird. I don't know how these relationships are. I thought it was weird that the twins are like sleeping all over each other, cuddling. Like, I don't know who sleeps
Some
with
like
their
Game of
sibling.
Thrones type, Lannister type stuff going on here.
I don't
Maybe
know.
it's
They're
so they
like
feel safe.
right.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. So that was a bit. I don't know. Maybe it's a Luke and Leia throwback. I don't know, but that was kind of strange. I liked how they died.
Do they have names? Do the twins have names, or is it
I don't
just the
think
twins?
they do.
Oh, I bet you they.
I'm
I
gonna
bet
look
you
it up
it's
real quick.
somewhere. It's somewhere. I loved Embo. Oh my gosh, his fighting was amazing, and I didn't see any little issues with the costume or anything. Like, I don't know how you can have such a skinny dude, like, but they did the costume awesome, and his fighting was just so good. And like, I even liked his the dog character that was with him and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and he's just the same character that he always is. Like, he's there for it until he's like, this is the losing side. I'm gonna sneak off to the side. So really liked him. The all the droids, I really liked all of the droids, honestly. Like the droids, like my BC Droid Builders Club is just like our brains are just like oh my god, the rules have just changed everywhere. So I loved that. Coin disappointed. I don't know. Was he not supposed to be like the big bad guy at the beginning? And I'm like, he's not that scary, and they defeated him pretty quick.
And he's not that bad.
No,
he's not that bad. I don't know. I was just like, really, this is our big bad guy. But then even then, it wasn't even really him as the big bad guy.
No.
But I loved Hog's Breath. Like, he was so cool. Like, just right off the bat, like so cool. Like, you don't want to be here. Like, just so cool. And he gets the crap beat out of him, and we know that he's probably gonna live because, like, really, he gets burned by fire at the last minute there. Like, he's gonna have a cool face scar, and he's gonna have that cool horn chip, and we're gonna know exactly where it's from. So, I think that was a very good acted role by one of our friends. So, what about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm looking up for the twins right now, and I don't see voice actors named.
Yeah, I don't think there's
see
anything.
It just says the twins, which is very weird that they're like
the twins.
Are they connected? Oh, no, we see them fight. Never mind. That's a dumb question, Jimmy. All right. Let me go back to our script real quick. The twins I thought were cool. I'm glad that they spoke mostly in Huttese. I love that. I love it when the aliens are, I guess that brings me back to like Jabba, and I'll talk about that when we talk about Errata a little bit, Stinky, and why I have Stinky there. But like that brings me back to when I was a kid in 1983, and I see that, Embo I loved. I thought they used the action. Some of it was herky-jerky a couple times. I don't know where I was like, oh, okay, that was CGI'd or something, because that didn't seem like it flowed very well. But I thought he was cool. They made him do stuff that he did in the Clone Wars. He's jumping, he's flipping, he's spinning, doing all kinds of craziness. So I thought he was really cool. I was really excited to see the droid Gotra get that, bring that over from the Solo stuff, because they were formed, it's not that old of a group. So it was pretty cool. I like that. I like them being like the bad guys, and I think that Disney likes that too because then you can do whatever you want to a droid, and it's not like violence. You know what I mean? Like you can
Yeah.
do however you want to smash them with a rock.
For kids.
It's not
Yeah.
like a rated R now because you just smash someone's head. You smash a droid and nobody cares. Coin was whatever. I don't whatever. I mean, I guess he was just a means to an end. Like that was telling the story.
Yeah,
We've
it's an extension.
connected it to the show, I guess, because we've seen him in the Shadow Council. I thought the first guy was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of lame a little bit.
He was all right.
But Hog's Breath was cool. I mean, I thought he was a cool creature. It's cool. It's cool to see more of those. It'll be neat to see if like they can start bringing them in, like, because we have like Jedi that were like that, and different things, and just see different characters. And maybe or maybe not, you'll hear an interview from him this week. So yeah, I thought the bad guys were good. None of them made me like, none of them were Vader or Maul or Markion Rowe, like but that's not what kind of movie this was. And that's again, that's where like I'm struggling with this movie. You know what I mean? Because we have all these epic things, and this was just kind of like this little side, but it's still good though.
Yeah,
right.
And it goes back to Return of the Jedi. When those doors open to Jabba's palace, instantly you're thinking, "Oh boy."
Yeah.
When they're in front of Jabba, again, you're not scared, but the fear's there, the trepidation's there. There wasn't any of that for the twins.
No.
Anything scare your daughter? Like, was she scared by anything in this movie? I thought those
she was scared.
Kind of creeped out.
She said the film was scary. She was scared of the snake stuff. I think she was a little bit. I think she was creeped out by the twins, but not so much scared.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, there's a few things.
Okay. Let's talk good guys. Let's talk Zeb and Stinky, because I think that's really and random guy in a swamp if you want.
Random swamp dude.
And again, we'll break this stuff down. We have nothing coming for the next 10 months or whatever it is. So we'll have plenty of time to dive into this more. But how did you feel about Zeb, his usage? Rod of the Hutt. Like, let's talk about those two.
Go on, Tay.
What, Colonel Ward or something?
So first off, swamp dude. I really, really like him. I feel like we should know who his voice actor is, but I can't think of it.
I kept thinking, and I was like, it sounded like somebody, but
yeah. But that was such a cool character. Like, I would sit down beside him.
Martin Scorsese.
No, that was Scorsese was the Anzellan Hugo.
Right. Yeah, like I would sit down in a rocking chair on that guy's porch and talk to him for hours. Like, that guy was cool. I liked him. I liked his little bit of like wanting to help Grogu at the same time as being a local to Nahada. So I liked him. Zeb, opening scenes where you first see him and he's first walking, we'll say like the first third of the movie, first quarter, he looks great. His movements are all good. His fur is blowing in the wind. It doesn't look too shiny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's good. Like, I'm like, yes, they're doing this. They're great. Second half of the movie, you start noticing he's looking a little bit CGI-y, and I just almost started noticing it more and more. Like, they were like, don't worry, people aren't looking at him anymore, so now we'll spend more time on something else. So I think his animation towards the end started getting a bit like they could have tried harder towards the end. But I really liked him at the beginning. I liked his character at the beginning. He's the same guy. I like this kid. Like, I love it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be super negative about Rada. You guys aren't gonna like this. As soon as we saw him in the arena, I was like, oh, and he's too shiny. His eyes are too big. They're moving. He's too cartoony looking. I'm sorry. He's too ripped. That's not what a Hutt is. I'm sorry. And Hutts are slugs. But I look at Rada and I think, maggot, how he inches around. Like, they don't move like that. I wasn't really a fan of his voice. Like, I love the voice actor. I like the voice. I don't think it suited this character. I don't think yes, he should have been more gruff. He should have been more dirty, like not so shiny. Like, just I liked how he was nice with Grogu and all that stuff. Like, very cool. that's probably the one thing in the whole movie that just didn't do it for me was I think they should have tried a little bit harder to make this look less CGI-y.
Mm.
That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion.
Get her.
Yeah.
I liked Seb. I think the supporting characters were fantastic overall. I think they carried the movie, if I'm honest. Seb was class. Again, it's that Seb that we know and love from Rebels.
Yeah.
Older and wiser. I love the team up with the Mando as well. I think that's absolutely fantastic, spot on. Again, I agree with Taylor about the CGI. Some of it you're a bit like, okay.
Missed it.
But Rota for me was my favorite character of the whole movie. Like unbelievable, funny, loads of character development. You know, he's doing certain things that you look at like, you know, a slug can't do. I get that. I know we're in the Star Wars universe, but my God, did he get about with his 2 axes, etc. The fight scene in the arena was absolutely class. His first initial fight with that guy, and he just rised up and just fell on him. Yeah, I just like classic Grand Slam. I think they missed the opportunity with Rota to mention some of the Rebels crew. You know, I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong now, but I'm sure he's seen Seb before when they rescued him. I'm sure he's seen him before.
Ahsoka's the one. Ahsoka and
it was Anakin and Ahsoka, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But did they not cross paths in Rebels?
I don't know.
With Ezra. We'll have to look that up. But yeah.
No.
I sat there thinking, I'm sure they've met before, but no. Rota the Hutt overall, like absolutely fantastic. I absolutely loved Rota the Hutt. So from the whole film, my main takeaway is Rota the Hutt is one of my favorite characters. What about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, I liked Zeb. I liked that connection. I think it was smart. Again, people were like, why does it have to be Zeb? But why doesn't it have to be Zeb? Like, who cares? Like, Zeb has to be doing something in the universe, and he would be kind of like without his family. You know what I mean? Like, he's without the Ghost crew. So he kind of has Mando and Grogu now. And I think that's kind of sweet. And I also think that's really, I mean, I know they didn't do anything to like tell us about the future of Star Wars or up until the sequels, but I feel like that is an opening to bring Mando and the Rebels crew in together. Do you know what I mean? Like, because now you have this bridge in Zeb. So think about, and they fit together. Like, I mean, we talk a lot of times about how some Star Wars doesn't fit with other Star Wars. Mando and the Rebels and Ahsoka, that all fits.
Yeah,
like it's all that same campiness that it works, and we've seen it. We've seen Zeb with that crew. We've seen Zeb with Mando now. I thought some of the CGI was a little bit wonky when he was walking, like at Coin's thing, kind of weird. Again, I wish they hadn't shown us some of the stuff that he was going to do. Like, I think that ruined like the action, the surprise of it. Just show us him. Like, I don't think we needed to see that action scene, because I remember how excited I was when I saw that the first time. And again, had I seen it for the first time in the theater, I'd be walking away from this with all these great, Jack asked me that question. I would be like, it was this. It was when, he did this or when they did that. But I had seen all that stuff in the trailer. So it was like, Rada, I'm mixed on, because I thought that the idea behind him is cool. In the comic books, he's that way. He's real jacked, and he's actually running the Coliseum in the comic books with Boba Fett and stuff. So I was fine with that. I like the fact that, like, they had to move the way they moved. It wasn't, they didn't slither. I thought maybe that's what they were going to have him do, and I thought that would have been weird. His voice threw me off a little bit. It wasn't as like gruff as I thought it should be, because you had Jabba who had this, but he's young, so he is young. I mean, people used to answer the phone I used to answer the phone at my house, and people would start talking to me like I was my mom. Imagine this voice being mistaken for my mom's voice at one point. You go through some changes, kids, right? So maybe there's potential for that to get gruffer as he gets older.
Yeah.
My biggest concern with Rada, and I know that there's no way practically to do this, but if you sit there and you go back and you watch Return of the Jedi and you look at Jabba the Hutt, and I know he doesn't even move hardly.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so much. I mean, it is real. Like, that's a real thing.
Puppet,
on that. Yeah, that's a big puppet. I know it's, and it's there, and I know the CGI and the way they hand things off, and they did a lot of that to show, like, his hand reaches down and then he hands something to Grogu, and I get that. That's cool. I'm glad they were doing that. If you notice, though, every time they did that, though, it was just the arm. It wasn't, so they were really having a hard time with those shots, apparently.
Yeah.
I think, it'll be like, maybe it'll be like Ahsoka, where he'll get better the more we see him. I hope we get more of him. I really do hope we get more of him. I think it's an interesting character and an interesting twist to that storyline, which might be the only twist in this whole thing was, he doesn't want to be a bad guy. He wants to be his own. And that's another thing too. He kept saying his own man. Wouldn't he say his own hut? Like, isn't that what he would have said? I don't know why that bothered me so much, but I'm like, if you're a hut species, and they always look down on everybody else.
Yeah.
He would never say, I'm going to be my own man. Like, I want to be my own hut. I think that was a missed opportunity. But I did enjoy the character. I thought it was funny. He was sweet. It was so different. But yeah, that was fine for me, I think. Like, I like that. And then did we talk about Sigourney Weaver's character, Colonel Ward? She was whatever. I mean, she didn't really feel like she had really a lot of opportunities to really sell it. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of opportunities for her acting chops to come out, and she wasn't like, "Get away from him!" I think
that's a perfect example of getting these big names in a Star Wars film just for a bit more publicity.
I had to give them a chance to act. They've done that to everybody though. Like, think about the stuff you see Oscar Isaac in and John Boyega. Like, those guys can act, but not in Star Wars movies. They can't. They just yell and scream.
Yeah, she did look great in a pilot suit though, in an X-wing suit. She looked fantastic.
Cool. It was cool to see Sigourney Weaver, but you also get the same thing where you're getting like the same stuff that happened to Acolyte, where you bring in these big names. Like, I want to see Daphne King, I want to see Weapon X's. Although Jackie worked for me, so I can't complain about that. But yeah, so let's talk about where the hell everybody else was, because I feel like there was nobody in this movie.
No, there wasn't.
It was empty. It was very empty. I think Carson Teva was in it. Obviously, I think towards the end,
5 seconds.
That little cameo.
You got Doug Chang. Doug Chang's a pilot.
Yeah.
Yes,
you guys see that? I was pretty excited.
Chang,
Lieutenant
Dave
Blake
Filoni,
or something, or I can't remember.
And they sort of canonized or retconned, or no, canonized is the word I'm looking for here. The Omega Squadron. I think that's the team that we would have seen if they'd gone ahead with the live action series. But I'm happy there's no Boba Fett, Ahsoka, or anyone else like that. That's absolutely totally fine. Like, this is a separate story.
Where was Bo-Katan? Because she lied to you, Taylor.
She did. Like, actually, to my face.
Unless she was in it as like an extra and you just didn't know it was her, then technically, because that's what I thought when I left that theater. I thought about you. I was like, man, Taylor's gonna be pissed.
It's funny because all of us, because it was the 501st Troop that went, and we were just like, whoa, like, where was she? And we're like, she tricked us, like, major tricked us. And we were just like, oh. But yeah, I don't know. I really expected to see her. Like, it wasn't even like, I know, like, it wasn't even like she wasn't, it was like, she's gonna be in it eventually. It's kind of what I thought. And I don't know, I almost assumed that we were going to get an Ahsoka mention, just anything about Ahsoka. Like, I've met a Jedi too, and then we both know that they just happen to be the same one that they're talking about. But yeah, it was very localized, very, very small, if that makes sense.
I cannot believe that she had you off.
She had all of us, our whole group.
If she went there and she was in a costume, or she did something in the crowd and you just never saw her, like, technically she didn't lie to you. She is in the movie.
Yeah, well, she was also at the VIP screening and walking directly behind all of the actors that were in it.
She tricked you.
Yeah, but Rappy was there too. I mean, like, they had a lot of
Yeah, but he was more to the end though, right? So it's like they had the actors all going first, and she's like right there. So
I think it's because of her closeness with that crew, though, probably, right? But I see I see what you mean, though. Like, it would have been, I just kept waiting for her to show up. Like, I really thought that was where they were all going to come at the end. I didn't think it was going to be like, was it Omega Squadron or whatever, or Blue Squadron or whatever they were. I can't even remember, but
Blue. It was like Blue Squadron.
Yeah,
because Sigourney Weaver's like Blue Captain, Blue Commander leader now or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Blue Leader, yeah. So
I don't know, but we got one. Do you want to do this next one, or do we want to save it for next week? This who stole the movie and all that kind of stuff.
We'll do it now. We'll do it now, and then we end on what you said.
All right, cool. Anybody like who stole? I guess Jack, you kind of told us who stole the
Rhoda.
movie for you. Rhoda the Hutt stole it
Yeah.
for you. Taylor, what was like the standout character, or like who, who stole the show for you?
I really, really liked Embo. We didn't have him in a whole bunch of it, but I super appreciated it. And as you guys, if you've been listening, I've been thinking that he's gonna be the good guy the whole time, like switch and help. But no, he wasn't, and I definitely want to go back and watch some more stuff about him because I really I appreciated his character, but I do think that Grogu stole the whole show. I think every single time Grogu blinked and cooed, every person in my theater was just like, like, like we were expecting this, but yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I would say Embo as well, but I thought the Anzellans were a fun surprise
Right, that
because
was fun.
they were better. And they still need to work out the motions with them because some of it looks really herky jerky, and I know that's
Yeah.
like a work in progress, and they'll get better with it. They always do. Like that's one thing Lucasfilm does is they see something, they're probably tearing themselves apart for how it looks. Our friends Don and all of them at Legacy Effects are probably like, well, we can do this and we can do that, we can do this, and they'll have it fixed and they'll look like the flawless. But I thought that they were actually, I thought they were going to be annoying because they usually are,
Yeah.
ever since Babu, and he was funny. I thought they were going to be annoying, but there was a lot of funny one-liners. Like they really brought the comedy aspect to this, and the little chew toy Anzellin and all that,
Yeah.
So I thought those guys probably stole it for me. I really loved Embo, and I think that I hope that we get to see him in future stuff. And he's loyal to whoever pays him. So he's been a good guy. He's been a bad guy. Maybe
Yeah.
Mando reaches out to him because Mando even showed him that respect. So
Yeah.
maybe we get that. That would also be, I guess, Embo would be my best newcomer. I don't know. Rada was pretty good too. So
Rada's class.
yeah, Rada. Because he was in so much of it. I'll have to give that to Rada. I think best newcomer for me would be Rada the Hutt. What about you, Taylor?
I'm gonna go with Embo. I thought that he was a great character to introduce.
You
and I
hated
think
Rada
that
the Hutt.
I'm sorry.
hate
I
that
just
Hutt.
Don't
didn't.
apologize.
I
You're
know I'm
allowed to.
usually
Hate that Hutt.
Yeah.
I'm always
There you
so
go.
positive with stuff, but I just couldn't get on board with this guy. I don't
That's
know.
all
It
right.
took me out of it.
Yeah.
But like, think about it. We could have Embo come and like, because we still don't know what happened to Cobb Vanth and like Cad
There's
Bane and all of
so
them.
much.
So like
We'll
he would
talk
fit
about that.
right
Yeah.
into that. So I think that's a really good intro for him. But I'm just gonna go right into who like a wasted character for me. Rough take, but Sigourney Weaver's
That is
character.
absolutely
I
fair.
agree. I agree.
I think we have this amazing actor, and I don't want to say anything bad against her because she's like the alien movie queen for everyone's sci-fi like loving.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a whole lot of acting. It was just like some line reading, and like I don't know if she's maybe just getting a little bit older, but she just seems like she was kind of like half dazed. I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen her acting so flat before, I guess. But maybe it's just Star Wars writing.
I agree with Taylor. Completely agree with Taylor. Such a high-end actor, completely wasted, is a massive loss. But at the same time, like I said, she looked great in a pilot suit. What do you reckon, Jimmy?
She's almost 80 years old, born in 1949. So
Hey, there you go.
I think about it whenever I met Billy D. Williams, and there was like this massive delay between when I talked to him and then his ability to respond to me. Like I was walking away from my photo being taken, and he's like, "Oh, thank you." Like that's when he was in that movie. I thought, "Oh my god, like this guy's not going to be able to do anything." Then he was pretty good in that final movie. But yeah, I would have to agree. I think she was wasted. Like you have someone of her caliber. And in science fiction, she is the queen.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
you didn't let her do much of anything. And I don't want to be mean or negative, but she's at a point in her life where it's not like she can do like a lot of action stuff. You know what I mean? Like she's almost 80 years old or whatever. So yeah, I mean, and then her acting wasn't like when she was like talking, okay, Mando, like it wasn't any oomph behind it. So I just, it was really cool to see her. She was funny when she was sitting there, but when she was in, and maybe that's just something she wasn't ready for. I don't know. They always, when they bring all those people in to be those pilots, you know, you've got Doug Chang now, and
Dave
Rick
Filoni like twice.
Rick is in there, and Deborah Chow. Like none of them act well. I mean, you know, and she kind of fit into that. Unfortunately, she fit into that when she was in the X-wing. So I was kind of bummed by that a little bit.
Well, and then you can even think of it like, oh, well, maybe it's just because she's like getting up there in age. But think of her in the last Avatar movie when she's like the smoking lady and she's just giving them hell.
Yeah,
and
but that was
like
20 years ago, wasn't it? Like
at least 10. But like,
I mean,
the difference in the performances there is incredible. Like almost like a different person. But you're right, so much time has passed as well. So I still love her.
Yeah, she's still the queen of sci-fi. Like, I mean, no one will, I don't know who could take her mantle. I mean, she's been in so many things.
Yeah.
You know, so many blockbuster stuff that I don't think anyone will ever touch that. But it's kind of like a football player hanging on too long, maybe. You know what I mean? Like maybe, but it is cool. You know, who knows? Maybe they can do more with her. I don't know, but yeah,
we'll see.
I think that should be where we kind of cut, because we have a ton more to talk about.
We got loads.
Like another hour or so. What I would like to do is, I met a family. I came out of my second showing, so you have to remember this is like 10:30 at night. And so I just walked up to this random family, and the reason I picked them, because I was sitting there and I was, you know, I had time on my hands when I was watching it the second time, and I was like, I should interview people, like, just so it's not just us, you know what I mean? Like, because even their reaction was like, oh, he's a podcaster. Like, it was almost kind of annoyed when I came up to him. But they were really gracious. But there was a family, I think, because there was a dad, there was mom, I think there's two sisters, a brother, and then brother's girlfriend, I think. And I apologize if I got that wrong. I didn't want to like become their best friends, because I could tell they were just kind of doing me a favor by answering. But I'll play this. We got them out of the theater. This is my second showing, but I heard them talking, and I wanted to really to get to dad, because he looked like he was probably close to my age, and he was saying some things like, I want to hear what he's saying. So I just went over, because the girl that I'll interview first, she kind of held her ground with her opinions, and I was pretty impressed. So we're gonna play about 2 minutes of this, and then what I really would love for people to do is, if you have a passionate opinion about something we've talked about, or something that you want us to talk about next week, send us a voicemail or send us stuff, and then all the stuff that we collected for this week we'll also read next week. So I just want to play this because I have no way of really contacting them and telling them, hey, I told them to be on Tuesday, so check it out. So here we go. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. If you did, you did. So what'd you guys think of the movie?
Well, I really liked it, but it was my first time ever seeing a Star Wars movie.
Okay. What did you like about it?
Well, I like the little Grogu.
You like Grogu?
Guy. Yeah.
All right.
And I thought Mandalorian was pretty cool.
You thought Mandalorian was pretty cool?
Yeah.
All right. This is your first Star Wars movie in the theater?
Yeah.
Or Star Wars movie ever?
Ever.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good. Okay. What about you?
I mean, from my understandings, I thought it went pretty well. I like that it came back to, like, what was it, Clone Wars? That I always loved the Clone Wars,
like Embo and stuff like that. Okay, very cool.
Remake of all of them. I thought they were all kind of Viking, barbarian looking.
All right.
And so I liked it. It was nice.
Okay, how about you? What did you think?
I thought it was kind of lame towards the beginning.
Okay, no, good.
But then, like, towards
What was lame about it? What was lame about
it?
it?
It was just a lot more just like dialogue. And
Dialogue?
Fights.
Okay.
Gunfights.
But what about the rest of it? Did you like the rest of it?
Yeah, I like the end. The end got better.
The end got better?
Because it was just, a lot more fights and scenes. And the little guys, the little repairmen and their little ship. That was cute.
Oh, the Inzellans? All right, cool. What did you think?
Some cool music.
Does a pretty good job. Lots of fight scenes. So you're not a Star Wars fan?
I mean,
you guilty by association.
Yeah.
Okay, like my wife, I get it.
It was fun.
Okay. And I heard you saying some things.
Go ahead. The best one I've ever seen.
Is it the worst Star Wars movie?
It's the worst one, minus Jar Jar Binks. It was probably the worst one I've ever
so
seen.
you think it's...
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of, like, good story behind it. It just seems like that could have been a short or something we could have seen on the Mandalorian.
Okay, so maybe it could have been like, it could have been season 4 of...
And then what'd you call the big Jawas fighting? Chud. The Chud fights.
All right, so that was the family. I should have gotten their names, but they were gracious enough to give me a couple minutes of their life. And you can see that they were all over the place, right? And that's why I heard them talking, you could tell by like the echo because it has this dome and you can hear people like
Yeah,
across
yeah,
the
yeah.
room. So I just kind of like made my way over. I was like, "Hey guys, I'm Jimmy," and they're all turning around like, "Who in the hell is this guy?" And I was like, I do a podcast. I was like, "I'd really love to like get you guys' take on this." And I thought it was pretty interesting. We had people like that one girl. I think the girl and the boy, the first two were in their teens somewhere, young teens, and then the other two were pretty young. I would say they're probably under 12. And then we had mom and dad who looked like they were probably, in their 30s, maybe a little bit older. So I thought that was a pretty good collection of, what the common person might think, not someone who listens to a Star Wars podcast, not someone who, they didn't even know the names of the Inzellans and I appreciated, what they had to say. I thought, but for the most part, the kids all seem to have liked it.
Yeah, because
the parents were both like, meh. The wife was like, "I'm here because my family's here." So she was a good sport about it. So good job, Mom.
Awesome, brilliant. Right, so make sure you guys and girls tune in for part 2 coming next week. Like Jimmy said, we are going to read off every single comment we get, so get those in. If you have any questions or you just want your voice heard, then DM us on our social medias or send us an email or voice note at exploretheforce@gmail.com. And remember to like this episode, share it with your Star Wars friends and family, and to follow us on all our social media platforms. All you have to do is search Explore the Force, all one word. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Also, if you want to show your support and spread the word around by image as well as by voice, then head over to Redbubble and search Explore the Force, where you can purchase unique merchandise. And a massive thank you to everyone for interacting with our socials like I do every week. We're looking forward to hearing what you guys think about this movie. So,
yes, and finally, you've been listening or watching Explore the Force. We have spoken. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
At the end, you'll understand.
Close your eyes. Feel it.
I am a sedative.
Wise as Master Yoda, as powerful as Master Windu.
They'll do their job well. I'll guarantee that.
I am going to end this once and for all.
Chewie. We're home.
You were the chosen one!